I've just seen this. Poise Parker attacks Tom Daley. Dustin Lance Black over surrogacy after Olympic diving final. Why? They are fully within their right to have kids, whether it's adoption or surrogacy. I've heard a bit about Posie Parker, this lady, but I don't really know too much about her, just small little things. And even by this, I'm guessing she is the anti LGBT community and is someone who very much likes to make her opinions known through no real reason at all apart from just wanting clicks and attention and views, which I think is a serious problem if you're someone who is going out there only to say things just for the attention. Gender critical activist Posie Parker has hit out at Tom Daley and Dustin Lance Black after having children via surrogacy, labelling it baby trafficking. How? You're just completely and utterly delusional, Posie Parker. That is exactly what you are. It isn't baby trafficking in any way, shape, or form. And you are the delusional one in thinking that. It's not us. Parker, whose real name is Kelly J. Keenshaw, is one of the UK's most recognisable anti-trans campaigners and recently launched a single-issue Party of Women, which failed to secure any seats at the local elections or later election, a general election, which is completely and utterly funny that she has no standing at all. And she deserves it, really. Who named her Kelly Jean Keen Minchell? A double-barreled first and last name. Just a double-barreled first name or just a last name is enough. You don't need both double-barrel first and last names. Monday the 29th of July, Daley and his diving partner Noah Williams won a silver medal in the men's 10-metre synchronised platform diving final at the Olympics 2024. Following the win, the BBC interviewed Daley's husband, Oscar-winning screenwriter Dustin Lance Black, who gave an emotional description of the different level of effort his husband put into training, saying it was all because of their children. And it probably was, because I think they might have wanted to do the Olympics to see their kids watching them and have their kids watching them, and I think that could have been why Tom Daley went into the Olympics. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he's been in, say, 5 Olympics, which is quite a substantial amount of Olympics to go to, and I think it might be his last one. Daley's medal is his 5th in 5 games. So yeah, it's 5 Olympics with 5 medals minimum. And that is such an amazing thing for someone to be able to do. And with something like diving or say gymnastics, you've got quite a lot of people getting into it and who are into it and who might be younger and more physically fit and more able to do this. I don't know how old Tom Daley is. He's certainly physically able to do this, but younger people are going to be a bit better and react better with sports, so it's such a surprise that he's been able to beat out quite a lot of people and get into the diving team. Parker responded with a scathing post attacking Tom Daley and Dustin Lance Black for having their children via surrogacy. Or how else do you expect them to do it? Baby trafficking should not be celebrated or normalised. Those poor babies stolen from their bonded mother at birth. It's as inhumane as it gets. We wouldn't do this with dogs. She wrote on X or Twitter, adding that she opposed all surrogacy, not just men who do it. I mean, some people make money off of doing surrogacy, and there should be no problem with surrogacy in any way, shape, or form, no matter the circumstances. If people want to have kids and they want to have their kid biologically related to them, then it should be a possibility for absolutely everyone. And just how on earth is this baby trafficking? All of the people involved in legal surrogacy are completely and utterly consenting adults who know what they're doing and have agreed to this. Completely disgusting in every way, shape, or form. Just where is the proof that it is trafficking babies? There is none. It isn't trafficking kids in any way. And this is the tweet. It comes from BBC Sport. It's very moving for our family. Tom Daley's husband says it was so special for their sons to see Daley Olympics. And I think it would be. And for kids like that, it would inspire them to get up and get out and be active and get into a sport, and potentially even taking it all the way up to trying to get into the Olympics. And potentially, yeah, Tom Daley could have got to the Olympics without his kids being there, but I don't think he would have done it. And then the reply that Posie Parker did was, baby trafficking should not be celebrated or normalised. Those poor babies stolen from their bonded mother at birth. It's as inhumane as it gets. Wouldn't do this with dogs. I criticize all surrogacy, not just men who do it. Surrogacy really is not the devil. Really, even if someone who gets pregnant carries the baby to term and has a little bit of bonding after the birth, what if that lady is in such a circumstance where she cannot at all physically look after the baby? What do you do then? Should adoption not exist as well? You're saying that a baby should stay with its birth mother, or the baby should stay with the person who gave birth to the baby just because of a little bond that the baby won't even remember happened or even really know that it ever happened in the first place. Several social media users hit back at Parker, accusing her of homophobia and bigotry, which resulted in heated exchanges, which I'm sure it did for someone like her. And this is really what she wants to happen. She wants a reaction, she wants her name in the news, and she wants people to talk about her. She really has no use in society, really. Which is presumably why she's done this, so she can feel like she has some sort of worthiness. What about the women who willingly help those families by giving them the gift of life? One person asks. Which is so true. If somebody is physically able to carry a baby to term and give birth to the baby, why is that such a problem when they're doing it for someone else who can't do it, regardless of why they can't do it? What about the baby? No birth story, no maternal bond, traumatized at birth. Who has anyone in the whole history of human beings actually ever remembered what has happened in their life before the age of 3 years old? I don't even think many people would remember anything before the age of 5. Who can actually physically remember being born? A social media user accused Parker of not caring about the maternal bond, claiming, "You care that it's two gay men with a family, or homophobia reeks." Parker replied, "Good one, avoid talking about the abuse of a baby with random accusations. Why do you think babies should be sold?" They're not being sold. Two men raising a child, neither of them gave birth to the baby or was actually pregnant with the baby, is not abuse to a child. There has been so many people who are in same-gendered or same-sex relationship who have had kids regardless of if they're not biologically theirs or not, have successfully raised kids who are just as normal as kids raised by different gendered or different sexed people. The idea that being raised with same-sex parents will be abusive to your child and that child will be messed up isn't true. In fact, being raised by same-sex parents means that that child will be more understanding of different people and they will actually realize and be aware of what being gay actually is and what it means, and just completely, utterly being able to see through homophobia and hatefulness that a lot of people still have. So why would you voluntarily choose to hate people for raising kids where they would be more accepted and more open with other people and with themselves? Why would you want a kid to be raised with hatred and anti-LGBT views? Person hit back again with, "I love you avoided how my previous response first. The baby wasn't sold. The mother was protected and looked after while she carried the baby when she passed them over to their parents. Just say you're homophobic and move on." The baby wasn't sold in any way, shape, or form. And I just wonder if these people actually believe in what they're saying. Surrogacy sees a third party carry a baby for a couple who are unable to conceive or who can't carry a child themselves for medical or physical reasons. Rules for surrogacy differ around the world. For example, the UK, surrogates can only be paid reasonable expenses, whereas in the US, surrogates and egg donors are compensated. And particularly paid surrogacy has been attacked by conservative figures recently. Presumably they're saying it's trafficking. In April, Daily Wire host Michael Knowles dubbed it grave child abuse. No, it's not. Saying everyone involved is gravely evil, including the egg donor and the people purchasing the child. Someone voluntarily chose to be the egg donor, someone voluntarily chose to be the sperm donor, and someone voluntarily chose to be the surrogate. Egg donors and sperm donors know full well that their donation would at some point be used to create a child. So they're fully willing and knowing that that's going to happen. And it's not gravely evil, and it's not purchasing a child in the way that they're saying. It's like going to the shop and buying a child off the rack. That's not how it happens. In the same month, Italy's right-wing Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, leader of the populist Brothers of Italy party, voiced her continued support for a bill that would make surrogacy a universal crime. Why? There is no reason at all for surrogacy to be illegal. What about the cisgendered straight married couple who are just physically and utterly unable to have children? For whatever reason, what about them? Everyone should have the right to be able to have kids no matter who they are and which way they want to have kids. At a conference in Rome, she said, "I continue to believe that surrogacy is inhumane practice." How is it inhumane? Last year, US right-wing pundit Matt Walsh called surrogacy scientist horror, adding that anyone agreeing with his definition was more active than the average modern conservative who is always on hand to wish a healthy congratulations to gay couples who engage in this trafficking. Do these people want to happen? Science to go back to the early days where contraception wasn't invented, abortion wasn't allowed or accepted, and people able to have kids to have about 15, 20 different kids because of medications not being involved to prevent pregnancy. They really want people to go back to that time when people just have no rights or authority or say over their own body. Just don't strip people of their rights over their own body. People can do whatever it is that they like to with their own body. It's their choice. So let them just do whatever it is that they want to do.